I think so. I mean, that's my impression. I talked to Ms. Diener a little bit this morning about kind of what her approach will be in the suppression and feel like, based on what she told me, and what I know about my presentation, that it will take probably a half a day to do the suppression.
Okay. At least.
And maybe the other half would be the second one.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause we've got two of them, the motion to suppress the second statement and then the motion to suppress.
Judge?
Your Honor.
So the answer is yes, I think most of the day.
Okay. Ms. Auger.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. In terms of the second motion to suppress, I don't think it's going to be a half day. And just for housekeeping measures, if we finish those motions to suppress tomorrow, would you like us to get started on the motion in limine, or are we going to?
There's a motion for admissibility and a
Which kind of ties in, I think.
motion in limine. It does, I think it's kind of connected, yeah.
So just for housekeeping measures, if we finish with those three motions tomorrow, are we gonna move right into the limine, or do you want to?
That would be my intent, if we're ready to do that. If we're not, I mean, we've got 3 days, so I'm trying to be kind of flexible with your time and with the court's time.
Okay. We'll discuss that. I just want to make sure that
Okay.
we're not wasting any of your time or anyone else's time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, the only other thing I would add is that, The State filed a motion to dismiss the first motion to suppress.
Correct.
We assumed that it was going to be included in the motion to suppress.
Yes.
Even though it wasn't specifically listed in your motion, so I just wanted to be clear with all the parties. We intend to argue that within the motion to suppress, the first motion to suppress as well.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
That was my intent, 'cause that was your motion specifically addressed that motion to suppress.
Correct, Judge. Correct, Judge. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So with all of that, with the little housekeeping things taken care of, are we ready to begin?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So let's start with the motion to vacate the safekeeping order, please.
Call Tony Liggett. Sheriff Tony Liggett.
Witness sworn.
May I?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. What's your name?
Tony Liggett.
And, Mr. Liggett, tell us what your position with the law enforcement community is.
I'm the Carroll County Sheriff.
Okay. And in that, how long have you been the sheriff?
A year and a half.
And is it fair to say that you were not the sheriff when Mr. Allen was arrested back in October of 2022?
That's correct.
It was Sheriff Tobe Leesenby was the acting sheriff at that time?
Yes.
He still actually works for your department. Is that correct?
He does.
Are you in charge of the care and custody of Mr. Allen, with the exception of the fact that we have this safekeeping order in place?
Yes.
And do you acknowledge that your office filed a request to relinquish jurisdiction of Mr. Allen back in 2022?
Correct, yes.
And did custody of Mr. Allen was relinquished to the DOC?
Yes.
And do you acknowledge that that occurred without Mr. Allen having a hearing on that matter? It just, basically, there was a motion, a notice filed, and there was an order signed by the sitting judge?
I believe that's how it went, yes.
And basically, he got shipped off to Westville. Is that correct?
Correct.
And were you aware? When did you become aware that he was placed in solitary confinement at Westville?
You mentioned it in a deposition to me.
And was that in the spring of, roughly, of 2023?
That might be right.
Maybe the summer of 2023?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
And are you aware that there had been attempts by us to try and get him moved out of the DOC into one of the local jails?
Correct.
And have you been? Did you ever go to Westville and visit Mr. Allen's cell?
Visit his what, I'm sorry?
His cell, his unit up there.
No.
Did you? Are you aware that he was moved to Wabash Valley in December of 2023?
Sounds right.
And have you been down to Wabash Valley to visit him and just monitor the circumstances down there?
No.
You're aware that we asked the court to vacate the safekeeping order?
Yes.
And you and I, frankly, have had some discussions about this, even in the hallway?
Yes.
Tell the judge what your plan is in terms of housing Mr. Allen. Maybe she already knows. I don't know that. But tell her what your plan is in terms of housing him over the next couple of days while we participate in the pretrial.
Ed Schroeder, the sheriff of Cass County, has agreed to house him during this hearing. They're going to transport him to Carroll County Courthouse for us, and then we will take him back to Cass County.
Okay. And so while he's here, as he is right now, is it your intention that you would be responsible for his custodial circumstances during the proceedings?
Correct.
And this? Were those arrangements? Were those made in advance? When were those arrangements made is probably a better question.
They were made for the previous hearing, and they were just reaffirmed for this one.
All right. Excuse me, I'm having some allergies. So do you believe that these same circumstances can be maintained with Mr. Allen beyond the pretrial proceedings until we conclude the trial in this case?
I think it's possible, yes.
Have you talked to Sheriff Schroeder about that?
Yes.
And have those discussions even involved the finances that would be associated with housing him in another county?
Yes.
Okay. And transportation, is that a big part of that discussion?
Correct.
Is it fair to say, is it accurate to say that Sheriff Schroeder has asked for the assistance of one additional state trooper and a vehicle to assist with the transport?
Correct.
And is that something that you've been able to accommodate?
Not yet.
Is that something you think you're going to be able to accommodate?
I believe it could be accommodated, yes.
And in fact, we took your deposition back in May of 2024, right?
Yes.
And at that time, there were some questions posed to you regarding these transportation accommodations?
Yes.
And do you acknowledge that you essentially told us in the deposition, us being Mr. Baldwin and I, that you had believed you'd worked out the transportation issues associated with this now?
Correct.
And that involved getting some assistance from the state police?
Correct.
Do you agree? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that there's any circumstance that exists as at Wabash Valley which would suggest that Richard Allen is in danger of serious bodily injury or death?
At Wabash Valley?
Yeah.
I don't know the circumstance down there.
Okay. And are you aware of any circumstances that exist where he's a threat to someone else because of something he's done while he's been incarcerated?
I'm unaware of anything personally.
So your idea of getting him moved to another facility is mostly just a logistical issue, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
And if he were to be moved to Cass County, are you comfortable that the facilities over there are adequate to house him while we await this trial?
Sheriff Schroeder believes they are, so I trust Sheriff Schroeder.
Have you been to the jail down there?
It's been a long time. I haven't been there since their addition, but I've been there in the past.
Are you aware that we were graced with a new second half of the facility in the last year or so?
Yes.
And that there's a couple hundred more beds that are available there?
Correct.
Is it your understanding that's a pretty modern, state-of-the-art facility in?
Correct.
And are you comfortable, in talking with the sheriff, that he has an adequate confinement circumstance there to house Mr. Allen?
Yes, he believes so.
Does he have the right cells, the right type of cells and isolation and circumstance to assist him?
Correct. He said he has, yes.
So you don't have any problems with that? You have one problem?
I do have one problem.
We talked about this in the hallway.
We did.
Tell the judge about that.
So under our normal circumstances, we house people at Cass County already. And if there's a problem with an inmate or anything medical occurs, Cass County Jail picks up the phone and says, "Come get this inmate. Take him back." I don't believe that would be something we could accommodate if that were to happen. So my fear is if we vacate the safekeeping, that may happen. So I guess if I have a question, it is, can the safekeeping just still be in place, but change from DOC to Cass County?
So what you would want the judge to do is, essentially, modify the last paragraph of the order to reference that he would be transferred to the CU study of Cass County, but if those circumstances would change, that the DOC would.
Correct.
You could also just petition the court and ask for it to be modification, right? That's also an option.
I could, but that, I'm sure, will take a little bit of time for that to happen.
Well, the last time you petitioned, it happened immediately.
When Tobe Leesenby did, I think it was relatively quick, yes.
I don't have any further questions.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Judge. So, Sheriff Liggett, if the safekeeping order is vacated today, Richard Allen comes back to Carroll County Jail. Correct?
Correct.
And he's put in general population with the other inmates in Carroll County Jail, because we don't have solitary confinement here?
No, we do not have any kind of solitary con. We have a padded cell, but it is not housing.
There's no toilet in there. There's no shower. It's basically
It's a padded cell.
square cell. And so, at that point, you absolutely could contact another county and see if they would house him?
Correct.
And you've done that in the past?
Correct.
But if he's housed in the Carroll County Jail, do you have concerns about his safety?
Yes.
Do you have concerns about your ability to house him in the Carroll County Jail?
Yes.
And so is it your opinion that the safekeeping order at this point is still necessary?
Yes, I believe the safekeeping is still necessary.
And do you have any preference of where he's housed at this point?
No.
And so do you believe where he's housed now in the Department of Correction is adequate?
Yeah, I have no reason to believe differently.
Do you know that they have medical personnel down there to be able to take care of any medical needs he may have?
Correct.
Do they have mental health personnel there that may be able to take care of any mental health needs that he needs?
Correct.
And they're able to transport him back and forth to the hearings. Is that correct?
What? Say that last part again.
When he's housed in DOC, who's responsible for the transport back and?
The state police have been taking care of that for us.
And so is it your testimony today that you want him housed at Cass County?
I don't care where he's at. He can't be with mine, but the safekeeping should still be in place.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Mr. Rozzi.
Do you agree that he is being held currently in a solitary confinement setting?
I've not been told that. I don't know.
What about when he was in Westville? Do you agree that he was held in a solitary confinement setting?
At some point, yes.
You're aware that Warden Gallipo has testified in this courtroom before regarding his detention circumstances, right?
I know he testified, yes.
And you're generally aware that he, basically, had been living in an 8x12 cell for the last 15 to 20 months, if I did the math right?
It's about the same size as our cells.
Okay. But you're aware that that's the circumstance?
Okay.
And that he's been cut off from contact with other inmates other than just.
I assume that, yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of, you said earlier that you thought that his current detention circumstances were adequate, I think was the word that was used. You recall that? Just a few minutes ago, Mr. McClellan questioned you.
Correct.
You and I talked about solitary confinement when I deposed you back in May of 2024, didn't we?
Yes.
And did you acknowledge at that time that there are some very specific rules regarding solitary confinement?
Yeah.
Within the prison or the jail setting?
Correct.
And you advise that you have standards which are actually offered up to, probably through the Sheriff's Association, on how to detain people in solitary confinement and the length of those stays.
Yeah, it's through the Department of Corrections.
So basically, you adopted the DOC standards?
Well, they set the standards for us, yes.
And you acknowledge that there is a threshold within those standards that basically says that 30 days is kind of the maximum limit that one should be solitary confined unless there's some exceptional circumstances.
I believe the rule is that 30 days being a maximum, then they have to have some sort of administrative hearing to continue it.
Fair enough. That's what you told me at the depot, right?
Correct.
And do you agree that the reason for that rule was because holding someone in solitary confinement could be detrimental to their mental health?
Judge, I'm going to object at this point. I'm not sure how this goes into the safekeeping OF, whether or not he's in danger in Carroll County Jail or not, or whether or not that safekeeping should be vacated.
Judge, because Mr. McClelland asked Mr. Liggett if he thought his current circumstances were adequate, and his answer was yes. Our response is that they're not adequate. That's part of the reasons why we've asked the court for assistance, so I think it's relevant.
Overruled.
Thank you. So you acknowledge that this threshold of 30 days exists, right?
Yes.
And one of the reasons why that exists is because it's known in the industry that holding somebody for longer than that in solitary confinement could be detrimental to their mental health.
I'm sure it could be, yes.
And he's been alone now for the better part of 1.5 years, right?
I'll take your word for that. He's been held, yes. I don't know where that entire time.
Do you have any reason to believe he's in general population down in Wabash Valley?
I highly doubt it.
I don't have any further questions.
Mr. McClelland.
Is he going to be in solitary confinement if he's housed in Cass County?
He's going to be in a segregation cell, yes.
By himself?
I assume so.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
All right. Thank you, sure. You had more?
May I ask another question or two?
Sure.
Have you seen the cells at the new jail at Cass County? The solitary cells?
I have not.
Has Sheriff Schroeder explained to you what those cells, how they're set up, and how they're structured?
No.
You're building a new jail here, right?
Correct.
Have you looked at the designs for your new jail?
I have.
If I told you that they're the same down there in Cass County, situated such that there are some rooms in solitary cell with access to the day room, would that sound consistent with your plans here in Carroll County, Sheriff?
No. Ours are different.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Anything else, Mr. McClelland?
No, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Sheriff. You may step down.